All right, so based on what I was just experimenting with, I just added a little bit of code under each item. So under head, under skull, under the mandible, and so forth. And I just kind of added to make sure that each item deletes any loose vertices that happen to be present. Shouldn't be based on how the processing works or how I imagine it works. Elimination of doubles, which I do see is something that could happen, depending on how something was processed, who the lab tech was, whatever. Filling holes. I've seen holes happen in the geometry of items. Again, depending on how they were stitched together, you get a very complex item like a skull, where there's a lot of different parts and faces and vertices being kind of sliced up by the MRI and then stitched back together. It can happen depending on how things were processed. Making things manifold, and then, of course, remeshing. I'm not too concerned about some of the other things that I was looking into, sharp edges, what have you. So I've got each of those items in here. If I go ahead and I push play, we'll wait a minute and we'll see what happens. Then we'll do one or two more items, and then we'll have to probably circle back around and discuss a lot of the flaws in what I have put together, because this is definitely something where there's a lot of room for improvements. That said, I do feel like this is something that is definitely working out, and there's a lot of potential in what's happening here. Okay, so it's done. Let's take a look at what we have. I've got the patient here. Let's zoom in and take a look. Everything appears to have worked. 88,440 vertices, which is less than what we had. So apparently some of what I put in helped a little bit. Let's make this a little bigger so we can get a better view of it. I definitely see some problems with the model. Definitely not where I want to be. But again, it's still done what I've asked it to do. Let's just take a look at some of the other items here. Let's hide the head. Skull is looking okay. Oh, something's happening there. What's going on there? Oh, looks like I have an overlapping issue that I was unaware of. Okay. Well, something to be aware of. That said, okay, the mandible's looking okay. The ventricles are definitely looking very faceted, but we knew that was the case, and that's something we previously discussed. So for the moment, I think we're okay there. I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit to smooth this out next, and then take a little bit of time to assess things and determine how this can be improved in future iterations of this project or this type of project.